Welcome to Fighters Drinking Coffee. We are here with Dallas Ducote, owner of the Rising Tide in Montgomery County. Go ahead and say hello. Let's get started.
Hey, well, I'm not Dallas.
I'm
No.
Dallas.
That's Dallas.
That's Dallas.
So Dallas drove his ass from weigh-ins this morning. Where was the weigh-ins?
The weigh-ins are in Fort Washington, right outside Southeast DC in Maryland. It's the Rosecroft Raceway. It's like a horse and dog track, an old casino raceway. 3 or 4 stories building. It's pretty big, and they had the Golden Glove, USA Boxing Golden Gloves tournament there in the top floor ballroom.
And you won, you boxed, was it like a month ago? 3 weeks ago or something like that?
Yeah. So there was a few weekends in March and April where we did the North Carolina State Championship and the Virginia State Championship, and I was fortunate enough to win those 2. So then now I'm competing against the winners of Washington DC and Maryland and Delaware. So it's the regional championship.
So you're currently the Virginia and North Carolina state.
Yeah, for 187 novice.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
You're conquering territories, man. Are you going to become a state champion in technically Maryland, or is this technically DC tonight?
So it's held in, like, they do a bracket for every state or city. So DC is its own state compared to Maryland, and then the winner of each faced each other. So this is like the 3rd weekend of this tournament. For me, this is probably the 8th weekend for the whole tournament of the organization for Golden Gloves in this area of this region from North Carolina to Maryland and Delaware. So the Mid-Atlantic region is what it is.
Okay.
So is tonight just one match out of the bracket? Is that correct?
It's the winner. So I'm facing the winner of Maryland, DC, and Delaware, and then the winner of that is the champion of the region.
DC's known for its boxing too.
Yeah, I mean, this whole region is known for boxing, and it's, in fact, the awesome part about it is it's also $30 tickets if anyone wants to go. But maybe it's coming out too late. But anyways, next year, it's they're real straightforward about it. You see a banner, and they have like a banner, and then a banner that was clipped on, and it was all the Golden Glove champions and like national champions that come from that area. So it wasn't just the local. They don't put a banner of the local champions. They put a banner of the national champions and the world champions. So there's a list of like 70 names, and it's all like from this area: DC, Maryland, Virginia.
People you would
Sugar Ray Leonard,
yeah.
Roy Jones Sr., Roy Jones Jr., Roach, Jamonte Davis, anyone from that was ever a world champion or national champion out of Maryland, DC, Virginia. That name it's like 70 names. And I think the first one I saw on there is Sugar Ray Leonard. And he was actually at the last event, and he gave Alex Brennan from Kaizen MMA, she gave her a little award or something.
Cool.
I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, when we met, I met you at a Copa Elite. We actually just talked about it on our last episode because Mike competed on that. You were cornering Sam. And obviously we were talking a lot about, we were there for his jiu-jitsu super fight. And we were talking about your academy and Rising Tide. You guys, it's an MMA gym, right? You guys have all mixed martial arts. You're super into boxing right now, right?
Yeah. And
I think I saw that's your main focus at the moment. Is that right?
yeah. Yeah. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while. So, it's funny because me and Sam, we met grappling at Kaizen, so we kind of just worked well together and helped each other grow a little bit when we're in the training room together. I don't know him too much, but every time I see him, it's a good time. And yeah, I'm on this little boxing wave because my coaches won't let me do MMA unless I do boxing. So literally, they're just do boxing, and I'm like, all right. So I'm enjoying boxing. And I'm enjoying this coffee too.
There you are. Yeah, you are. And eventually you want to start fighting MMA.
Yeah, I've done one MMA match, right? And
do you fight out of Kaizen?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And yeah, the Rising Tide Moco, we're growing it. It's really a gym for everyone. And I've had people come and leave and say oh, well, it's not advanced enough. And I'm like, that's okay, man. We've been open for less than 6 months. like
You're building a
obviously,
program.
yeah,
You're building
yeah.
a program.
And it's like, all right, we're growing fast though. We're signing people up every day. So
Good.
that's not like a problem. We have a good sales system in place, right? It's rock solid. And we have good mentors that have like set the path, like shown us the paths for that. There's different paths, but we're taking our own, right? We're taking the best of both and making it happen right the right way. And like, um, being in that room, like trying to train people, yeah, man, like you're by yourself. All I can do is box and hit the bag or shadow box. Like doing jiu-jitsu is kind of hard by yourself. So sometimes when I was starting up that gym, really like the classes were small, bro. So I really had to like just learn to make the most out of my own training. Yoga ball for jiu-jitsu, right? And just techniques.
Body movement, balance, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, and just on your note about growing the academy, like to the people pushing back for like the level or whatever, like that's gonna change quick too. You gotta like build your base, and like most people, for those listening, jiu-jitsu businesses, martial arts businesses run on like catering to regular folks.
Yep.
There's only so many people like in the world who are competitive jiu-jitsu players. And just I've been running district martial arts for 8 years and been around the sport for 20 years. And I've heard this from like other guys who've been in it way longer than me, like some like mentors and folks that I have in martial arts. And a lot of these guys tell me like, these are like I'm not going to mention names, but like world class level, like Brazilian dudes who've been doing it for like 30 years. Other folks, like guys who are like elite grapplers who are like, yeah, dude, fuck all that competitive bullshit. He's like, it's not that good for your business. It's not necessarily bad. Don't get me wrong. He's like, you cater to regular folks and families. That's how your business is going to thrive. And then you'll get competitors. You kind of focus on like making it welcoming to everybody because that builds your community. It's like the foundation of a home or whatever. And like within that, you'll get some dudes or ladies or whatever who are interested in competing. Like you'll grow the talent, or people will come because they want to train with you. You'll get competitive type folks too. But the reason they'll stay there is because they want to be in your squad, in your community. It's not like we had a guy this morning came in, Cameron Hurd, and trained with us. He's got a great team. He's already got he's got a competitive team he's a part of. And he travels and he cross trains with us. He cross trains with other dudes, but like he's got a home base. Right. And part of that is I think his head coach is like definitely encouraging him to get like reads everywhere. So like even like competitors, it's a competitor's like nature to want to go to other places and train with other dudes. And like the smartest competitors are going to always come back to like the head coach because that person has like a long-term vision for what this guy, this gal or whatever should be doing. But like, and that's like best case scenario, like a good competitor who like is smart and knows, hey, I should be like tethered to a certain coach in a certain community, but it's to grow their skills as a competitor. They'll move to other places. Say that because they're not as smart competitors who just will be non-aligned. They'll fly around everywhere. And that's why you get that feedback. That's why like Rodrigo Medeiros has told me this. He's like, man, like the best thing I ever did for my business was gravitating away from being a competition focused gym. Doesn't mean you can't still have some of that. He's like, it's just been way better for my business to like run it like a community, great people who are going to stick around. And like, you're going to get competitors. They're going to come and go. That's just what competitors do because it always seems like the grass is greener on the other side. Like if they lose a match, they blame you, the coach. Again, this is like kind of like the maybe impetuous young athletes or whatever, but smart ones, like I said, like Cameron, for example, like he has his coach. He's going to keep working with the guy, but he's still going to be able to kind of move around and train with other dudes, push himself. But it's like, yeah, man, like these, you don't need like this super like you don't need to force a high level competitive team. It'll happen or it doesn't, and if it happens, like that's great. You can still do that. Like you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. He's like, you just don't make it like 90% of your focus.
Well,
so if these guys they leave, like fuck them, man. Like they'll come back.
Yeah, and there's people
they will come back.
Yeah. There's people that start with you like day one, like they're gonna stay with you a lot longer than those people that already have experience coming in too, because you're gonna mold what jiu-jitsu is to them. And so they're going to be they're more likely to be more loyal than someone who's been around and been doing stuff too.
And you are too, because you're going to remember that dude who came in when you were like, I just launched this gym. You were with me from the beginning. Like you supported me. Like they're going to yeah, it's better. Like than some dude who's kind of like a mercenary flying around. Like, I mean, like what, you're going to devote your time to some guy who's not really even committed to you? And all the work you're doing, the money you invested, the time you spent, like the blood, sweat, and tears. Like you said, like you were there, you sacrificed some of your training because you're like, I want to be in my academy. Like I'm going to do just, I'm doing bad work because I'm not getting like the best X, Y, or Z or whatever. If you drive around town, you can find that somewhere else. But you're like, no, I'm going to come here, I'm going to harvest and work on my shit, build it up because you know what it will be. You know it's going to be awesome. Like, you know it's going to be great. You are great. Like you're a fucking Golden Gloves boxer. You work with Liam too, right?
Yeah.
He's awesome. Like you guys have the constituent pieces. You just trust it.
Yeah, dude, I believe in it. It's going to be so successful. And I'm so happy and grateful that I get to wake up every day and do my dream job.
That's awesome.
Dude, it's like, it's automatic. And, God, that space is so fresh. What was the biggest thing that you've learned, like just being an owner? Like, what's the best advice? Like just the top one.
Yeah.
Overall.
Well, dude, I'll tell you, like the first thing that comes to mind for me, I think you already touched on it, dude. I think like knowing, like you said, you have a good sales process. And I think that's so important because number one, like at the end of the day, like if you can't, I mean, my background is sales in like professional careers.
What field?
Software.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing like software as a service, and I did payment processing. I still do payment processing. I have another business that I work on that too. Shout out to Primo Payments. But yeah, I'm so heavily involved in that. But yeah, like software. I still have a bunch of shit, dude. Like mostly software. And but I bring it up because number one, like I feel like it's like the most, again, way that my lens with that focus, that's kind of my bias. But I think you have to understand how to sell something to have a business. If you can't sell it, you don't have a business. If someone's not going to pay you money for what you're explaining to them, the services, like we're in goods and, well, this is not goods, this is services, right? Mostly services. Maybe there's some like apparel and shit, but we're selling a service. You're selling yourself and like what you guys do and what you offer. And I think getting that down, like as long as you can always do that, you can keep the business alive. You like, for me, like, I guess the next part of that, dude, that I learned was like, obviously there's a million other things in running a business that you got to get down. I think that's the basis of it is what you just talked about, like understanding it, selling it. And if you have a process for it, which sounds like you do, even better. Like you want to be like an engineer, which you are, you want to be like an engineer insofar as like building that system for sales. Cause like a systematized sales process, it's just more professional. And like, you're going to be more successful. Cause like you can like wing it. You can be really good on the fly. And that's positive. But the process is going to, like, if you wing things, lots of opportunities are just going to slip through the cracks, which then means you're always going to be scrapping for the next thing. So you have that process. You can train someone else on the process. You can start to like mold staff members and up your business partners or whatever. Like you can multiply yourself if you're good at it. You can get other dudes doing it. And then like now you have a team selling on the system. Like the system's super important. Super important. So, but like I said, you do that, you start with that, man, and you're doing it now. Like you've seen a pretty big rise in membership, and that means you guys are doing a good job at it. So keep doing that, and then like you'll learn the rest of the job. You will, because you have no choice. You're gonna be there. Like you're gonna be doing it. Like HR is a weird one. Like I've had to do HR shit. My business partners, we've had to do HR. Like you've had to hire, we've had to fire. We've had good experiences, bad experiences. Like that's a weird one, but like other things are gonna come up. And you'll pick it up. You have to.
What do you got, Mike? Come on.
Yeah, like, so when I was, a big thing, and it's kind of in the same realm, when I was managing Nova MMA, like you kind of figure out too, like where you're specifically strong and like, you're going to be strong in multiple areas maybe, but like where specifically your programs are strong, like what are your strongest selling points? What are your things outside of just the service you offer? Like, so like, you're partially selling the other people at the gym to the new person. Like, you have these like community things and like, oh yeah, everybody gets together. We have this, this group will go and do these things every Friday, or when we go and do competitions, we all kind of go out, everybody supports each other. And so you have these additional like little value adds that don't really, those are the nice things that will help people stay. But then also you start to learn as you learn what your strongest aspects are within your place, you also start to learn more about the people that are looking to try out your place, and you start to figure out people a lot faster. And so the process will really start to tighten up. Like as you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it, you start to figure out like, all right, like right off the bat, you almost can profile like what someone will gravitate towards the most. Like you'll know, you can look at someone and be like, all right, well, this person is probably going to be most interested in our kickboxing program. So you know that we don't need to go over the other stuff yet. Let's just go ahead and direct them in the way that their interests, like, you know, they tell you their goals and you'd be like, all right, let's start here. Like try this class out. And so you can, the process just becomes more and more refined as you go. And you might already be there, but like that was something that when I was managing Nova that I started to pick up was like, get those leads in, and the quicker you can get them onto the thing, the faster you can convert that sale and start to have like these people, and they're a lot happier because they didn't have to go through the whole process of figuring out what they want to do there.
And you said it like quicker too, dude, because that was good notes. But like my one mentor says, money's attracted to speed. So like implementation is the way to gravitate money, like pulls it in.
Yeah. I'd say people like they stick around for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Community too.
community's a big one. That's what keeps people around.
Yeah.
Because they want to they'll make friends, dude. Like what we do is it's like a weirdly intimate thing. Like you get to know people really well when they're like squeezing your head or whatever, you're squeezing their head.
Sweating in your mouth.
Yeah, dude. And then like afterwards you knuckle up, you shoot the shit or whatever, like you hang out with these guys, you know, like so people like that shit. It's probably the most important, like intangible thing. And it just comes from like, you know, just being around, being cool to people. I don't think there's anything crazy about it.
No.
Or crazy complex about it.
It definitely creates from the top down too. Like you have to, you can garner what all of that community becomes. So, your coaches, like all of that kind of guides it. And so, keep having it tight between you and the people at the top will help create like the right type of community too.
Dude, we got great coaches and they're young. They're like blue belt level, but they could be purple belts, but like, but we actually haven't even started wearing gis, but our team are so good. Liam and Jess, like they're professional level grapplers and fighters. And then we got Joe Walsh, Joe Walsh, he has been training like around, he's from Gaithersburg, but Coach Joe taps me every time we roll. And he taps like pro MMA guys easy. His jiu-jitsu's tight. And he actually trained at 10th Plane in Austin. He trained with Coach Tim Welsh at Red Hawk and all those fighters like Tommy McMillan and JoJo and then O'Malley. But now he's our coach. And dude, he taps me every time as a blue belt. We're not even wearing gis yet, so I can't wait to start wearing
promote them.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah. The last thing I'll say is like take care of your loyal people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people who are good. It's more of an extension of the community thing we talked about, but like the people who like do good by you, do good by them too.
Yeah. Yeah. What else you got?
So much. Kind of tell us about what led you to wanting to open Rising Tide.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's weird. I think it just happened for a reason. Like the universe, I feel like just drug me to Rockville.
Mm-hmm.
Because in college, like I graduated from Towson.
Did you play baseball there?
I played baseball there for a semester on the club team. Okay. But I signed like this independent pro contract.
I remember you told me about this.
And then I got like really sick, but I didn't get to play. Went back to school and played another year in Greensboro. But then I came back, finished up at Towson. And then I was like working construction, working at bars and stuff. Graduated, got a job at this firm in Columbia. And I was doing a lot of work in DC, Frederick, Rockville. They call it like Research Road. There's like all them labs up there. You can see some of them from here.
Yeah.
And basically I got fired because I was like, dude, this is not me. Like, I was like, dude, fuck this job.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong
Yep.
kind of guy.
Well, just like, I was just like not having a good time. And, um, went back to my parents' house, started working at the bars and then just training jiu-jitsu with Mike Stewart in Finksburg and Liam Pinero, who was driving from all the way down here up to train up at Helson Gracie Academy, which was Rising Tide. And Tony Waldecker and a bunch of coaches from down here would drive up there to teach. It was awesome. And basically COVID happened. I got a call from a project manager at HHS and he's like, come work. And I'm like, I bet. Cause I was designing labs before and like, I did a good job. I just wasn't working well with the company I was working for is pretty much why I got fired. I was like, "Fuck nerds." Because, but anyways, so I'm at NIH here in Bethesda for a while. What?
Nothing, dude.
Okay.
Nothing.
And then,
Don't trigger me.
okay.
No, you're good.
And then, so I'm at NIH in Bethesda for a minute, right? And I'm doing other jobs too, like, and I started training at a gym up there, and then that gym like ended up shutting down. And also when I was working up there, I was driving up to Columbia to work for Steve in the Rising Tide in Columbia. So then I was like, all right, the job's too much. I'm gonna do Kaizen. I'm gonna work at this other gym in Rockville. The Rockville gym shut down, and then the owners weren't sure what to do with the space, and then they eventually called me like a year later, and they were like, "Do you want the space?" And I'm like, "Let's do it." And dude, everyone today, it's like fight day. Everyone's saying good luck to me, and dude, when I hear that, I'm kind of like, oh, bro, don't say good luck to me, because luck is when preparedness meets opportunity, right? So it's not like, dude, like, what is luck, right?
Preparedness meets opportunity, like you
Dude,
said.
like, yeah, it's not like a
Do you have people asking you for like details and shit? They're like, "What time is it on? We're gonna get tickets."
yeah.
The typical like
But
the
it's
worst
like-
thing like you can say to like a guy when he's. That's normal. People do that.
I got my phone on silent right now.
Yeah,
but,
it's smart.
But like, it's funny
Yeah, throw that
because
do not disturb on.
just for a little bit today, like, dude, and so back to MoCo, I work a lot of engineering now. So I left the company I was working for at HHS. Dude, when all that vaccine stuff went down, I was like, fuck y'all. I was like, dude, I was like, you're going to tell me to take a vaccine? Dude, fire me. Just fire me.
Did they?
No. But everyone
They didn't
else,
have the balls to do it.
everyone else got afraid and got the vaccine, or everyone else was afraid and quit. And I was like, all right, dude, well, I'm going out, like, getting fired. Like, you guys are gonna fire me once, you're gonna fire me again.
Yeah.
And it's like all those jobs are like government jobs. So you have to like clearances to get on sites and stuff. And I was doing super well for my company. Like, dude, I've been doing construction my whole life. Like, I enjoy it. I do it well. But I was like, yeah, dude, fire me, guys. And eventually they didn't fire me. I saw like half my friends quit or get vaccinated. One boss had a heart attack after he got vaccinated in the office. One of the CEOs, yes, or presidents of the company. And then I had other friends like get injured. Right, I read 3 books on that stuff while I was at HHS, and I was working at like Ground Zero. I was building Dr. Fauci's penthouse at the It's so basically,
I bet he has a sweet penthouse.
Yes, it's stainless steel, and we were like. But we were like working in all the mechanical floors and all the lab rooms. And, yeah, dude, it's just, you can smell the hypocrisy, and, it's not a good thing. And,
I got out of the thumb of people telling me to do shit like that. When COVID popped off in 2020, I think that was my last year working at a W-2 before I went DMA and my other company full time. And I remember like thinking to myself, I was like, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Like, it's just not happening. Like, you're not going to make me do it. I'm like Scots Irish, dude. They're famously stubborn people. I'm like, you can fire me. I'm like, it's just not happening. Like, do what you got to do. But for what it's worth, my company, I remember at the time, they didn't really make a big stink about it, thankfully. Like, it wasn't that wasn't the culture. Granted, like I wasn't in anything government related at all, so there's I think a little bit less pressure. But they definitely were like trying to encourage people to do it a little bit, like for sure, but they weren't pushing it too hard, which is like credit to them for like dealing with it. I mean, could you imagine being like it wasn't a huge company, it was like a big-ish
It's
company.
like telling someone to get an abortion. It's like telling literally like a teacher to get an abortion. It's the same shit. It's my body, my choice, or is it vaccine mandates? Oh, that's different.
It's your
No,
body, my choice.
It's the
Yeah.
same shit. No, it's the same shit. And it's not even a vaccine. It's gene therapeutics. And dude, Bill Gates said that shit fucking a decade and a half ago on a TED Talk. How good was that shit?
Is that the one where he said that he was like, we need to like, he actually, I think he said the quiet part out loud, right? Where he was like, we need the vaccines because the world's too populated.
Yes.
I think it was that. I mean, he said a lot of wild shit.
Dude, yes.
Like the amount of stuff that he casually says that gets blasted out on like major media platforms, it's very like dark that you're like, whoa. He just said that?
Yeah.
That's probably top 5 though.
That's top. That's like the.
He's like, well, how else are we going to deal with global
That's like
population?
Donald Rumsfeld. That's like Donald Rumsfeld on C-SPAN the day before 9/11 saying, I don't know where $3.2 trillion is. And then boom.
Bang. Yep.
Dude, that's like the same thing. They tell you what they're going to do, right? And they do it with numerology and it's hermetics. Like they got to tell you what they're going to do so they cancel out their bad karma.
I've heard that before. Like on the conspiracy realm of the internet, if you want to call it that, where there's like that, like some, if you believe that shit, whatever code of ethics,
No, it's like
potential Satanist / whatever. I don't know what it is.
It's like esoteric. Like it's not, Satanist is like evil. Luciferian is like kind of just like worldly.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Good. There are. I have also seen that there are actual definitions of these things. My bad, but you're right. Whichever one that is, Luciferian.
Gotcha.
But they do. I have heard that they like. It's like some weird code of ethics that they have. They have to disclose what they're doing. Like you said, if it's like a karma thing or whatever, they're like, oh, so they'll just kind of slip it out in like very like plain, calm language like this. Maybe it's on CNN or C-SPAN or whatever, but it will go out there, and then the thing will take place that they shared with you. And it's like, if you didn't do anything to stop it, that's on you.
Yeah, bro.
Is that right?
Dude, that's really right. Like
I told you not to be there.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the idea. The idea is that they're like, that's again, like if you subscribe to this shit, the tough thing about all this is it's like hidden in plain sight. So it's not like there's like maybe there is a written playbook. I mean, we were talking about Sam Tripoli in the Tinfoil podcast earlier. Like, I mean, those dudes, like I know him, he's going hard in the paint on like doing his research, and they made his written down somewhere, excuse me, whatever. But these things tend to be like, if you even just choosing to like engage with a conspiracy theory in quotes, there's like the inherent nature of it that it's meant to be kind of like secretive, right? Otherwise it wouldn't be a conspiracy theory. So my only point is with all that is that these things are kind of like, it's like opaque on purpose. It's like kind of vague. So it's I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
So,
I personally don't know if like that's the code of ethics, but it kind of makes sense if you're going to go out and like you're going to like destabilize global populations and do sinister shit. Like maybe there is a like, I'll warn them for a day in a very casual way on MSNBC or whatever, and then they didn't do anything about it. That's on them.
Yeah.
And by them, I mean like all of us and the rest of the regular people.
It's on us. It's on us.
I mean, here's the thing. There have been people ranting and raving on conspiracy internet. That's just what I don't know what else to call it. Conspiracy internet for decades about forced vaccinations. Like that is a conspiracy theory. Quote unquote.
It's a playbook out of like Behold the like White Horse by Cooper.
Daryl Cooper? Is it Daryl Cooper? Something Cooper.
Something Cooper.
Some guy named Cooper.
Bill Cooper, man, I don't know.
A Cooper.
But like, dude, they got operations on operations, bro. So like, you want to talk 9/11?
They're busy with those labs you built them, bro.
Yeah.
You built them some labs. They're working hard.
And trust me, like I've signed NDAs, hundreds of them, but I won't talk about those.
Yeah, of course. And we don't want you to get in trouble.
Don't talk about
But the ones I haven't signed, like everyone should know about, is like the 9/11 one that was executed out of Fort Belvoir. And that's called Operation Able Danger, carried out by the U.S. Department Secretary of, his name is Zelkow. So, I mean, all this stuff, like, it's out there, it's known, but people can't like wrap their head around like, oh, a plane hit a steel structure that, a 60,000 ton steel plane hit a 250,000 ton steel structure. And it's that the whole thing just collapsed. No, right? You like 1200 degree fires don't melt 3000 degree or 2850 Fahrenheit rated steel. It doesn't melt that. And in fact, it takes 2 to 3 hours to melt that. And that's a UL test. And I do a lot of UL testings. Like I basically put jet engines into steel structures and I burn them until they never collapse. I test them until they never collapse. That's one of my jobs, right? And it's funny because those buildings fell within an hour. Okay, let's do the math backwards. Okay. Fires go up to 1200 degrees. Okay, like office fires is what weaken the steel, right? Jet fuel, any type of gas, natural gas, fuel, it can burn and it burns up real quick. And it burns up to 1200 degrees. Maybe at 1500 degrees, but it's a quick 1500. Right now you have office fires, 1200 degrees. Steel weakens at 2850 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's like when it's like starts to melt, right? And it'll take like time after it to actually fall. That steel is rated for 2 to 3 hours. And, basically it takes those buildings fell within an hour, bro. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, it's half the time the buildings fell twice as fast at half the temperatures. Thermite burns at over 4,000 degrees. It's twice the amount of what it takes for steel to melt, and it fell in an hour.
Yeah.
So that's like, if you do the reverse math.
You're saying it doesn't make sense. I think the tricky thing with that sort of, with someone who doesn't know anything about engineering, which like most people, like, I don't know shit about engineering. He probably knows more about engineering than I do. Mike knows a lot of stuff, but
just very specific engineering,
whatever,
specific machines.
Right. Well, all I'm saying is you're pretty aware like about a lot of subjects. But anyways, I think for a normal person, it's there's at least two things mentally they have to like even be open to accepting to then open their mind. It's like there's two gateways, at least there might be more. They have to like be willing to pass through to accept that there is another version of what happened, since we're referencing 9/11. The first one being that, which is like, that's just technical, right? No, you've been in construction, so you get it.
Yeah, so you can go to UL Lab, right? And I actually work for a UL Lab in Ohio, and I'm not going to drop the name, but UL Labs take this steel and you run every type of test for it. Obviously, like, they're not going to test like a plane. I don't know if they have a test running a plane into a building and then it runs on.
They might want to think about doing it now.
Sounds expensive.
But typically it's like, all right, a fire started or a bomb went off or a fire started. And like the UL test for a floor collapsing, like the trusses in those buildings, is ASTM E119. And that's 2 to 3 hour fire rating. And if those buildings failed in an hour or less than 2 hours, right, then there was a major engineering failure, which all those engineering firms are on the hook for failing that. And then there would be the biggest lawsuit of all time. But since, the plane just hit the building. We don't know. Anything could happen if a plane, and no, that's bullshit. You had firefighters walking up that building, calling in, saying, hey, we can stop these fires. We could stop these fires. And then no 100-story building falls at free fall speed in less than 10 seconds, unless it was columns were moved. And you see columns. I've done demo for years. If you want to cut an I-beam, right, with thermite for a demo with a clean free fall speed, you got to go on a 45. You place it on a 45. If you look pictures of ground zero, you'll see I-beams cut on 45s, like all over the place. So just like unlimited evidence.
Yeah.
Unignited thermite they found on the ground. You got pools of lava that were in the basement for weeks after at satellite temperatures of over 1,500 degrees, which is office fires, in molten lava. Like,
Well, what could create that?
only thermite.
Thermite.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thermite
So controlled demolition.
Yeah, thermite is and you can see the squib load charges if you watch the buildings fall. And plus, building 7 wasn't even touched. That was brought down, right? That didn't fall. Just
There were no
because of the
planes that hit
fire.
building 7. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it didn't fall because it's just fires.
How'd the fire start?
I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
It's like, I think a bomb went off in the base and the generator exploded or some shit.
Right.
But yeah, it's like thermite is made of it's a mix of iron, aluminum, and like sulfur, and it's like little gray red chips, and like you can like pick some off the ground and like that's unignited and just throw it in a microwave and it'll like fizz up, and that's what they did.
And we're
so
not
many
recommending
times.
people do this.
Definitely don't do that.
No,
Right. But it's an interesting question. Yeah, no, it's
Not like any ground.
well, no, I get it. Well, yeah, dude. Like what I was saying. Like, there's all that. There's all that technical shit that's complicated. Most people are not even going to keep track of.
Well, and
They're going to check out.
sometimes there's, people want to have, it's simpler to just believe what you're told, right? Like that's an easier thing to do. And especially if that aligns with like the reality you want, like if it
Which
makes
is the
your
next-
day-to-day life simpler.
That's the next one.
Yeah. So like, that's what
I
sort
think
of
it all-
to do.
It's too comforting. It's
It's
simpler.
fighting.
It's simpler to be like, this is just what happened.
It's fighting. It's the same like parallel to fighting. It's like you got to test the truth, right, and see what works and what doesn't. And like I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna throw my hand up, but I'm gonna come with a jab low, right? Like it's the same thing. Like you can distract people, and but you got to test the truth. That's my whole thing.
But so government distrust is what kind of drove you more and more into wanting.
It's not even government distrust. It's like little incels inside the government. Like the government as a whole is a good, but it's just like bad apples.
Yeah,
There's always bad.
a
apples.
distrust of maybe not the whole, but like there's a
People take-
system
yeah.
there's a shroud or something. And
People
like,
take advantage
you
of
didn't
their
want to be
role.
part of that anymore. Is
Yeah.
that?
Well, he sounds like an independent guy.
Yeah.
he's got an entrepreneurial spirit. And he loves martial arts.
but
He's connected it back to how you got the rising tide.
I'm trying to finish the
okay.
story. here.
Well, I want to
So-
talk about what you're.
Okay, so I went back to the sales role, right?
Okay.
I'm doing engineer sales. So I run through DC, Arlington,
Okay.
and my schedule is like, all right, I make my own schedule, and I give presentations to all these engineers. So like, I don't have a PhD, but I give presentations to people with PhDs. I'm not like that like know-it-all kid, but I buy them like $300 lunches,
Right.
And they
so-
that's
and they listen to me talk for an
oh yeah.
So that's like my main job. And then I'm like working on some data center schools and stuff like some other stuff. And then that gym, like I said, my homie hit me up and he's like, all right, do you think you could run it? And I'm like, I can put a team together for sure. For sure I can. And, it's a good location right off the Beltway, right in the north side of DC. And we got all the right people to start this. We're trying to grow the team. Kaizen MMA is like 20 minutes away, right? And so we can just go train there anytime and get our rounds in. And like, that's a harder gym. But like Scotty was saying, like, this is a community gym first.
You're building it.
Yeah.
They're gonna come to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I love about like speaking of the community, what I love about like guys in martial arts is how I feel like the Venn diagram of like conspiracy theory and like people involved in martial arts, it's a big overlap, dude. And I think you touched upon it where it's like when you like, this is my take on it. I feel like you said, if you want to win a fight, you have to have like a certain alignment with the truth. Like you can't afford to bullshit yourself with any delusions, because like if you have a delusion about something, it's going to get in the way with reality. You're going to be faced with reality every single time you step onto the mat, a cage, a box, like a fight, whatever.
Two things off that is the highest emotion in the world. Like people think, if you ask them that, they think it's like love or hate, right? The highest emotion, it's truth. It's being genuine, telling the truth, being honest. And then the second part of that is sometimes you got to be delusional to win.
There's no doubt about it. You have to have that optimism, that belief, right? That ambition to be like, I can do better. There's like a hero's journey to it.
We've talked about the delusion and loss too, right? Like you have to believe like, oh no, like I am gonna win next time. Like you have to have a certain amount of belief, like that this was just a step off the path. Like I'm gonna get right back on it. I'm gonna keep going. Because if you don't have that, you're gonna just wallow in that defeat too.
How about this? Be delusional when you win and tell yourself you lost. So next time, that's what I do. I honestly do that. I heard that from Tim Walsh. He's like, just treat every win like a loss.
So you got to get better.
Yeah.
Whatever you did wrong, you got to hold yourself accountable. We talked about that too recently. Yeah, that's valid. No, but I do think that there's like, because of all of this, like you said, facing reality, truth, we'll call it, what's interchangeable for the sake of what I'm saying. Because people who do that have to have that relationship with reality brought to their face right away. Cause you're going to know it immediately. Like if I was the real deal or not. I think people involved in that smell bullshit really well. Thus, and maybe they like picking fights with bullies. I think everyone who kind of gets into it doesn't want to be like, everyone maybe just had some like, I don't want to get pushed around. All of us. That's why we're in this shit. And then you see these people lying to you about whatever, 9/11, you name it. You're like, oh, these guys are full of shit. And I'm going to call them out on it. And thus the relationship between conspiracy theories and martial arts, where they're like, no, you're lying.
There's also
that's some bullshit. It's so in your face.
There's also something too with like the whole, like all martial arts, fighting arts, like it's constant troubleshooting. And so like the whole time you are providing input to one person, they're providing an input to you, and you're having to constantly process it. And so all the time you're trying to process what's coming at you while also trying to predict. And so there's just like there is that like troubleshooting, questioning, like mindset that gets built when what you do when that is like your process on a daily basis. And so like you do constantly question things, and you want to like you want to figure things out too. And so as you try to like figure out what's going on around you and try to understand it greater and greater, it opens up more and more windows to look into, especially with like what you're being told versus what you're seeing versus what another person is seeing. And so like you start to just see more of these gaps, and like, all right, well, this person's saying this thing, this person's saying this thing, but like what's going on here in the middle? And so I think people just start to question more stuff and start to want to understand things. And like, you might figure out what they're saying is true. You might figure out what person A is saying is true, whatever. But like, I think people who are in martial arts tend to have that more, they want to learn. They want to be that like knowledge sponge. And so they just tend to seek out more information, even if it isn't because they're looking to find a conspiracy theory is true. It might just be that they want to understand what is happening around them at a greater rate or more than what someone else who's just, not doing that.
That's facts. And at the end of the day, it's like you're a kid in a classroom, you're not trying to get bullied. And you're always trying to look at the big picture of the room, right? Because there's always going to be a room full of people, wherever you go. And it's like whatever situation, whether business or the martial arts, like always trying to learn and kind of read the room and just be strategic in general, right? We always have to be.
I think Mao banned martial arts in the Great Leap Forward, Chinese like communist revolution, like a decade, like 100 years ago or whatever, maybe less. Pretty sure he did. He banned it. Yeah.
Why?
Probably because of this. He's like, he doesn't want a bunch of fucking dudes doing martial arts questioning shit.
All these martial arts.
They don't want, people in power don't want people to push back. The bullies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, if you're listening, you should do some martial arts.
Do martial arts.
Start questioning everything.
Go to Rising Tide, go to DMA, whatever's close.
Be feisty citizens. This is American way. We gotta like hold people accountable. That's what you do.
Battlefield.
Even if you like Donald Trump, you don't like him, like you gotta hold. It's like the job of an American. You gotta
dude, keep
these motherfuckers in check, man.
It's so funny because I'll tell people, like, I've never voted, but if someone asks me if someone's so worked up to ask me who I voted for, I just tell them I voted for Kamala Harris in 3 different states.
That's hilarious.
And they're either like,
They don't know how to
they-
take it.
yeah.
They either give you a thumbs
they're
up.
super liberal.
They're like, hell yeah, I did
yes.
too. I
Yeah.
did too, yeah.
I did too. How'd you
Yeah.
get 3?
How'd you get 3? I was trying to go for 4.
I was like, and yeah, most people just look at me like, well,
You're not taking this serious? This is serious.
that's serious.
I rewatched the South Park episode the other day where it was like the vote or die. Do you guys remember that one a while back? It was where like they were the kids were voting on a new school mascot, and it was the giant douche or the turd sandwich.
that's like all the way back in.
It's a throwback episode.
That's way back.
It's way back.
I think that's pre 2010. I think
It's
that's
old
early
school.
2000.
Oh yeah. But it was like it was a good episode about how like everyone's like obsessed with the like getting people to vote. Like you gotta vote. And maybe you do, but whatever. But that was like the core of the episode. It was Stan who was having like the identity crisis. He's like, I don't want to vote for a turd sandwich or a douche. And he's got Cartman's like telling him, because Cartman was the guy who propped up the turd sandwich. So he's like being sleazy as hell to get Stan to vote for the turd sandwich. He was trying to give him like favors and shit. And then Kyle, his other buddy, he's the one who created the giant douche. And Kyle was like, man, you have to vote. But really what he was doing was like, you have to vote, but you have to vote for my guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then Stan was all fucking jaded about it.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I tell people all the time, like, all right, I really don't like telling people what to do unless they're paying me,
Sure.
like, to tell them what to do.
Sure.
So like even though like if someone comes to my class and I start telling them what to do, I'm like, all right, you have to do this like to your full, just like give it your focus, give it your all focus right now. Try to do it. And when it doesn't work, keep trying, try something new on it. Like everything you do isn't cookie cutter, right? There's a little nuance difference between almost everything. And I'll try to do my best to show you the right technique. But at the end of the day, when you're transitioning between moves and we have different grips, different bodies, there's nothing cookie cutter about it. So you have to find your own path. Like
Do what works for you.
Yeah, like don't follow me into my fire, right? Like I want to go fight my war in my own fire. You don't have to follow me in there, but like you got to fight your own fire one day, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of like, I don't want to say, I didn't yell at, but I like, in one of my classes this week, I had to I told the guys who came in, I'm like, you all are paying me to tell you what to do right now, like you said. So I'm going to do it, but you got to, at least for like while you're here, like, cause here's the thing, like during the class, I'm like, do what I'm telling you to do, trust me. Like for the purpose of what you said, it's a little experiment. Like we're like in a lab here. Run the experiment, and then you're going to, if you don't run the experiment, because I had a few people just they wandered off the path. They were doing this random other shit. And I was like, all right. We have lots of classes we can do random other shit. Do your random other shit then. But like right now, do what I'm asking you to do because there's a purpose to it. There's a reason I'm trying to show you. I'm not saying you have to, like you said, always do this thing, but like, hear me out. You've got about 45 minutes to an hour to actually work here. Just run the experiment. If you don't run the experiment, like you didn't come in and listen to your coach, and that's kind of like on you. The reason you're here is because you're paying someone, and the goods and services, like we talked about earlier, is like you're paying someone who knows more than you. Just do it for a little bit, and then you're gonna go and you're gonna find out what works for you later. But like at least right now, like run the experiment.
Yes, that's a good way to put that, to run the experiment.
'Cause that's how you learn.
And like it's so hard to no, it's not hard to. I always try to like refocus every like 15 seconds on like who I'm trying to be as an instructor, right? Like my perfect version of myself would be I'm kind, courageous, and fun, right? Like I'm kind, but I'm a leader, being courageous, telling them what to do, but I keep it fun. Like if I can live up to those 3 standards every time I teach especially a kids class, adults class, I don't feel too bad about it, but especially a kids class, because it's important that they don't feel like intimidated, right? It's important that they find like, yeah, this is hard, but I can become the best version of myself.
You want them to enjoy it, like, so that they want to keep doing it too.
Especially for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so serious. And in adults isn't that serious too. Like really, you know, it can't be that serious, but it's fun. Like fighting is so fun.
Yeah.
I love just competing and winning, and like you just gotta win, dude.
So what's next? Okay, so you got boxing tonight. What's the rest of the year look like for you?
Yeah, so the boxing tonight, and then June 14th, I am competing in the Champions League title at like 180 something.
Boxing, still,
Boxing,
right? Okay.
boxing.
Where's that at?
At the Salisbury Center in Manassas.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then
And that's, you said it's Champions League. Is that the name of the organization?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Brent Hess, and they just, I don't know when they started that, but they've done like a few, and it's just like a Cagezilla promotion or a TCB's promotion, but boxing. It's real nice. Like I enjoy it. And they actually have a curtain up like on half of it. They could really pack that thing out, but people have to love boxing, man. Like there's something, I mean, the amateur boxing, it's very, like it's safe. It for real is safe. So for people that are scared to compete in amateur USA boxing, you should not be. Like it's literally the safest thing in the world. They make you do like a safe sport program. It's not like jiu-jitsu where you can just sign up and you show up. No, they like vet you as a person or to be an athlete. You got to get a physical and you have to get a booklet. It's super strategic, the way they do their sanctioned boxing fights. And some have like really cool venues too, like the Navy Yard in downtown DC by the Nat Stadium. Like,
Is it the Anthem?
no, the Navy Yard is the bullpen, the bar at the bullpen with the sea containers. They just
Cool.
put a boxing rink. Coach Joe at Rising Tide Moco
Is that outdoors?
outdoors
That's
in the
sick.
middle of summertime, hot as shit.
Yeah,
And it's like 100 degrees.
you're gonna sweat.
And then I was like, dude, I forgot to pour water down your head. I was like,
Is it
middle round.
2-minute rounds? 3-minute rounds?
If you have less than like a certain number of fights, they do 2 minutes, and then once you have over a certain amount of fights, they do 3-minute rounds, 3 threes, or 3 twos. But yeah, the venues they really need I think boxing has a lot of room to grow. So that's why I'm like investing in boxing in my gym because it's safe. The judges, the referees like stop. If your head snaps, they have to like give you an 8 or a 10 count, right? Like if you just get shot like that, you gotta they'll wave it off. So to get knocked out, it takes a lot.
I was gonna ask if like it's this is probably also like if you think big picture about like your overall career, like you're gonna get into MMA after you've done enough boxing. You're gonna get back into MMA, but I would think because there's not a ton of knockouts, like you said, you have to play the whole. You basically have to like masterfully outwork the guy the entire 3-minute round, 3-minute rounds from the full fight, which means you get more experience. You get more time in a fight because it's still a damn fight. You get the comfort of like someone swinging at your head and your body, and you have to like outwork them. You have to be more effective the entire time. It's not like if you could go on this KO a dude in like 35 seconds, that's good. Don't get me wrong, but you're gonna get what is it? That's 30 seconds is 8%. No, it's more than that. It's like 12%, 15% or whatever of the full of just one round, right? So if you do that, you get 5 times that much or whatever. I'm not, guys, I'm looking at my math. You know what I'm saying? You get the full duration of the fight, man. Whatever. There's some numbers involved. It's an eighth. Is it an eighth?
It's not enough.
well, all I'm saying is that's nice and all, but like, I mean, eventually, like, if you're gonna get to a level where someone's gonna be as good at you, and like, okay, so in amateur boxing, wear the headgear too, right? So you're protected, like you said, for good reason.
Yeah, but like, dude, I mean, that gear, I don't think look, it protects like the back of your head and like the sides of your head, right? It can deflect a little bit, right? But if you get hit square in the face, like
your dome's getting pieced up.
Yeah, so like I've had 2 KOs out of 4 of the wins, and it's like, well, they're TKOs. Like the guy's not dropping dead on the ring, right? So it's like
counted out.
Yeah, he's like falling into the ropes and he can't even stand up, like he's struggling, right? So yeah, you really want to push pace and create pressure and just work on. And when it comes down to boxing, like you got to have more tools than that guy. You got to have more footwork. You got to have more blocks, more catches. People forget, like just play pads with them. If they're trying to hit you, and then they won't even touch you. and it's like, how can I play pads and roll and then bop? And adding all these tools together is what people miss out on. It's not just if you have knockout power, right?
Are they using a 10-point must, or are they using points?
Yeah, they're
Like
using
Olympic.
10 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a 10-point must, not like not point fighting like Olympic style or.
Yeah, not like some Sanda or kickboxing tournaments. Like I lost one match. I was like 1-1 for the US Capital Classic. And it's like they make you wear like all the gear and with no legs, boxing gloves, chest, headgear, and that's points. And that was pretty annoying. Yeah.
Right. Well, and when it goes to the 4-ounce gloves, man, like that experience, the pressure,
Yes.
knowing how to avoid damage, and then getting in there to inflict damage, it's going to become super important.
Yeah, it's offense and defense combined. It's like it's what other sport are you doing offense and defense at the same time? Think about it. I mean, is there any sport with the ball where you're doing offense and defense at the same time? Maybe ping pong. I don't know. It's just like,
Boxing equals ping pong?
Yeah. I hadn't thought about ping pong as an analogy for combat sports, but I do like
offense and
It's
defense
pretty-
at the same time.
It's one, yeah. They do one, you do one, they do one, you do one.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know, but it's fun, dude. There's some good fights tonight over there at the Salisbury Center. The guy I fought, Anthony Fuller, bro, he is good. Like,
Your last match.
yes, he is good. And
Is he fighting tonight?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and he's gonna win. So I'm like excited to see how he just like.
Do you know if any of these other guys, like him, for example, are they interested in getting into MMA too?
Are they what?
Are they interested in MMA as well?
The boxing guys?
Yeah.
Like Kaizen? Yeah, so Coach Liam told all the fighters, like, you're not doing boxing unless you have credible, or you're not doing MMA unless you have credible striking. And so they're letting us go back and forth. Some of us do kickboxing and boxing, but they want boxing out of all of us. So we literally, it was funny at the Golden Gloves, the first day, dude, we had like, we had like maybe 10 or 15 fighters. And Coach Kaizen or Coach Gustavo's like, he's like, Liam, what the fuck?
I have
He's like,
too many guys.
he was like, Liam, you told all these MMA fighters that they did USA boxing, and now I don't have enough hand wrap. Like, I need to wrap hands. And Coach Gustavo's laying all the hand wraps out. It's just like, dude, it's like,
It's a lot of hands. It's
a lot of-
30 hands.
yeah. So Coach had to get a couple
15
other
guys.
guys
Yeah.
to roll hands.
Oh, I bet he was busy as fuck that day.
And it's just like he just doesn't talk for like 2 hours right when we get there. But now it's nice. Tonight he's gonna show up. It's gonna be in like Ahmed and then 2 females from Kaizen. And it's gonna be a fun time, man.
Well, I tell you good luck, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
good preparation meets opportunity.
yeah, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Hell yeah. You got anything, Mikey?
I mean,
It's good.
I think we touched on it all. We got kind of the backstory for Rising Tide. We got to.
I like that
where
we
you're going next.
We did talk about Tower 7 for a little bit. That was good.
Got a
We-
little bit
we-
of conspiracy
That was
theories.
good.
I
We
dig
wove.
it.
We wove.
That was the farthest wove.
That was good, wove. Weave.
I guess the like cap to that weave is just like, man, a lot of people just work for like someone and they tell you what to do. And it's like, do you believe in what you're doing? Right. And it's like genuinely like you may or may not be hurting anyone, right? Or indirectly or directly like affecting anybody. You might be doing a great job. But it's like, dude, sometimes it's like who you're working for, it's like, and they try to manipulate you in a certain way. It doesn't have to be the government. It could be any employer. It's like, dude, you shouldn't tell people what to do unless.
Well, it's a lot of leverage for someone to have, like a company to say, we are your livelihood because this is your paycheck. Yeah, dude.
It's
I mean,
evil.
that was a big
It's-
motivating factor in me wanting to not work for anyone.
It-
I'm like, yeah, I don't want someone having that much leverage over me.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather, like, if I'm going to fuck up and fail in my life, it's because of me.
Yeah, you want it on your own.
Yeah.
own
Like,
terms
I
and
mean, I don't,
everything. I
yeah,
get that.
dude. Like, that was a big one for me. I'm like, yo, man, like,
I can't do anything about this. I'm hopeless. That's how you drown people, is make them feel hopeless. Right. And it's like,
there is hope.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
always hope.
There's always hope.
So would you say that like, kind of being truthful to yourself, like making sure that you're
doing the thing that's best for you, even if it's a little scary. Like, I mean, I'm going through similar stuff, like in that realm of like trying to find, you're trying to find like
The path.
the path for yourself, and like having those things of like, all right, what is the truest thing to me? What is going to be the best for me, the people that I support, and like, what's going to make the best version of myself? So like, I totally get that, right? Like that, having everything be on someone else's terms, and like feeling you don't have to be under that thumb, like you're saying, like you don't have to be there. And so like,
It's
awesome,
freedom.
dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
freedom, dude. It's a freedom, and like abundance is freedom. Like a lot of people think for like lack, they'll lack like, oh, focus on what I lack. But literally, like quantum mechanics teaches us, like if you focus on what you're lacking, then it'll manifest in your life, like that lack. But if you focus on a little delusion and saying it's abundant, like I'm happy and grateful for what I have, then it'll bring energy to you. The ether will bring it to you, and you just have to believe in it. I truly believe in that. Like you can manifest anything if you like put your mind to it, and we're fortunate to have the opportunity. We have 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, right? Like a lot of people are missing just those basics that we take for granted every day. So we might as well be like who we're supposed to be, like humans, like we're meant to create, right? And, try to paint this canvas in our life.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
No, run it out, man.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again. Thank you, especially Dallas Ducote, for coming out. Fires drinking coffee, and just housekeeping. Get up on that Discord. We have that in the show notes, and follow us on all the socials. Like, subscribe, follow us on your Spotify. Reviews. Those 5-star reviews really help us on the algorithm. So the more you guys hit those 5 stars, the more it's going to get us in front of other people. And, hopefully that helps them enjoy as much as you guys do here. So, Fire Drinking Coffee. Bye.